If your name is on a bank account with anyone else, a husband or a wife, an adult child, a brother or a sister, I need you to hear this before you do one more thing.
Because the very step that so many good and careful people take to protect themselves in their later years, adding a trusted person to their bank account, is the same step that can quietly wipe out everything they have spent a lifetime saving. Not because they did anything wrong, not because the person they trusted is a bad person, but because of the way a shared account works under the law, in ways the bank will never once sit you down and explain. I am going to give you 3 reasons a shared bank account can go very wrong for someone over 65. In plain words, with nothing dressed up and nothing left out. And I want you to stay with me all the way to the 3rd one, because it is the one that quietly tears families apart, brother against sister, long after a parent is gone, over money that was never divided the way that parent wanted. Then, at the very end, I will show you 3 safer ways to get the exact same help with almost none of this risk. So as we go, keep a picture in your mind of every account you own and whose name is sitting on it beside yours. First, let me be clear about what we are even talking about, because the words matter more than you would think. A joint account is any bank account with more than one name on it, where each person is a full owner of all the money. Not a helper, not an assistant, a full owner with the very same complete right to every dollar as you have. And most people over 65 who share an account did it for one simple, loving reason, so that someone could help them. Help pay the bills if they land in the hospital. Help manage things if their memory starts to slip. Step in if something ever happens to them. It comes from the best place in the heart, but here is the hard truth. The moment you add that second name as a joint owner, in the eyes of the bank and the law, that money is just as much theirs as it is yours. And that single fact is where all 3 of these dangers begin. The first reason is this. Once someone is a joint owner, they can take every dollar in that account at any time, for any reason, and they never need to ask your permission to do it. Not half of it, all of it. They can walk into the bank or tap a few buttons on a phone and move the entire balance into an account that only they control, and there is nothing the bank is allowed to do to stop them, because the law says the money is theirs too. Now, you may trust that person with your whole heart, and you may be completely right to. But here is the part that has nothing to do with trust. Their troubles are now your troubles. If that person is ever sued, the people suing them can go after the money sitting in your account. If they run up a debt they cannot pay, the company they owe can reach in and take it. If they go through a divorce, their husband or wife can try to claim part of it. And if that person ever owes back taxes, the government can freeze the account and pull the money out, right down to the last dollar, even though every cent of it came from you and you alone. In some states, they can take the entire account. Sit with that for a moment. Your life savings, left wide open to a lawsuit, a divorce, or a tax bill that was never yours. And none of this requires that anyone did a single thing wrong. A lawsuit after an ordinary car accident. A small business that quietly fails. A marriage that falls apart. Any one of these can reach into a joint account through the other person, with no warning to you at all. The account does not know whose money it was. It only sees 2 names, and the law treats every dollar in it as fair game for the troubles of either one. That is why this has nothing to do with how much you love or trust the person. It has to do with everything life might throw at them, and now at you. The second reason is one that almost nobody sees coming, and it is written into the very bones of how a shared account works. Most joint accounts come with something the bank calls the right of survivorship. In plain words, it means this. The moment you pass away, whoever else is on that account becomes the sole owner of every dollar in it, instantly and completely. And here's the part that stuns families. That rule beats your will. It does not matter what your will says. It does not matter if your will states in black and white that everything you own should be split evenly among all of your children. The money in that joint account does not follow your will at all. It goes entirely to the one person whose name was sitting on the account. Let me make this real, because it happens in ordinary, loving families every single day. Picture a mother who adds her oldest daughter to her checking account, for one reason only, so that daughter can help pay the bills as she gets older. Her will could not be clearer. Split everything equally among all 4 of my children. But when that mother passes, the law hands the whole account to the one daughter whose name was on it. The other 3 children are legally entitled to nothing from it. Now that one daughter holds all of it, and even in a close and loving family, that is a heavy and cruel weight to lay on a person. The mother never meant to do any of it. She thought she was simply being organized and wise. Instead, without ever knowing, she quietly wrote 3 of her children out of a part of their inheritance and lit a fire between them that may burn for the rest of their lives. The third reason strikes at the very worst moment, the moment you need your money the most and need help the most. If the day ever comes that you need long-term care, a nursing home, or help in your own home, a great many people turn to a program called Medicaid to help pay for it, because that kind of care can cost more than $5,000 a month. But when you apply, that program looks very closely at your bank accounts. And here is the trap. If your name is on a joint account, the program can count the entire balance as yours, even the money the other person put in, and that can push you over the limit and delay or deny the very help you are desperate for. Worse still, if you added that person within the last 5 years, it can be treated as though you gave your money away, and you can be penalized for it and made to wait months before any help will begin. And there is one more quiet danger. If that joint owner passes away before you do, or falls into a legal fight of their own, the account can be frozen or tangled up at the exact moment you were counting on it to pay for your care. The very account you set up to make life easier can become the thing standing between you and the help you need. Now, I promised you this would not be only a list of fears, and I meant it, because here is the good news. Every single reason a person adds someone to their account, help with the bills, help if their memory fades, making sure the right person receives the money in the end, can all be handled in a safer way, without ever making another person a joint owner. Let me give you 3. The first is called an authorized signer, sometimes called a convenience account. This lets the person you trust write checks and handle the account for you, and do all the day-to-day helping you could ever need, but they are not an owner. Their debts cannot touch the money. It does not override your will. It simply lets them help, and nothing more. The second is called a payable on death beneficiary. You simply tell the bank who should receive the money when you are gone. Until that day comes, the money is completely yours and yours alone. The person you named cannot touch a single penny while you are alive, and their troubles can never reach it. But the moment you pass, the money goes straight to the person you chose, quickly and privately, exactly as you wanted. The third, and the strongest, is a durable power of attorney. This is a legal paper, drawn up just once, that names a person you trust to manage your money for you if the day ever comes that you cannot. They must act for your benefit, never their own. They never become an owner of your money, and it protects you fully if your health ever fails. For a great many people, a payable on death beneficiary and a power of attorney together will do everything a joint account was ever meant to do, with almost none of the danger. So here is the thread that runs through all 3 of these. A joint account quietly hands away your control, your protection, and your final wishes, all at once. And it does it in silence, until the day something goes wrong and it is far too late to undo. But you have time to check, right now, today. This week, do 3 simple things. First, find out whose name is truly on each of your accounts, and whether the bank has you down as joint owners. Second, call your bank and ask about adding an authorized signer and about naming a payable on death beneficiary, and tell them plainly that you do not want to add a joint owner. And third, if your savings or your home are worth protecting, sit down just once with a lawyer who works with older families and set up a power of attorney the right way. And please do not let the words scare you off. You do not need to understand every legal term. You only need to walk into your bank or pick up a phone and say one simple sentence. I want to help someone manage my account, and I want the right person to receive it when I am gone, but I do not want to make anyone a joint owner. That one sentence points them to the safe tools, and it protects everything you have built. This is general information to help you know what to ask about, and it is not legal advice, because the exact rules are a little different in every state. I have put where to start in the description just below this video. And before you go, think of one person who has quietly added a child or a brother or an old friend to their bank account, believing with all their heart that they were being wise and safe. Send them this video. It could protect the savings they worked a lifetime for, and it could keep their family whole after they are gone. Then go and check your own accounts this week and help someone you love check theirs.